And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Kasarian, and welcome to episode 30 of Industrial Rotation. So I owe y'all an apology, all right? I haven't been really doing much with Industrial Rotation lately. It's less because I've lost any interest in this, and more because, well, to be honest, I've just been really busy. My life's been insane, and honestly, Minecraft is one of the hardest episode series for me to record because it takes so much pre-work. So, anyways, enough excuses. Let's get involved today. So, what we're going to be doing today is we're actually going to be fixing our food situation a little bit. And that's going to take a little bit of work, all right? And I'm going to use, I am going to use this, how do I say this? I am going to use a combination of mods to make this work properly, okay? So, we have a bunch of things we need to craft to make food automatically. The first thing we need to craft, obviously, is probably going to be dough, okay? Dough is not easy, but it is, you know, we do need to make it. So what we need is we need salt, okay, which we get from salt ore, all right? And we need water, a mixing bowl, and flour. We get flour with a mortar and pestle and wheat or rice to get flour. Basically a whole bunch of things. Rye, potato, oats, barley, that sort of stuff. So we need to craft this stuff. And we could do it through the standard AE crafting system. But, well, it's not that I've actually really decided against doing it that way. I have decided to do it a different way, okay? I don't know why. I just don't feel like doing it I feel like doing it my own way, basically. Because I'm kind of stubborn like that. And remember, we're trying to use as few channels as possible. So let's get our golden bag of... what the heck is in this one? Oh, that's for mining. Right, okay. See, that's how long it's been since I've been playing this, all right? I don't remember what gets stored where or why I'm doing what I'm doing. All right, so let's get out our steel shovel. And let's dig a line for power that comes all the way back down to here. Okay? Because honestly, I think that's a decent place to put it. Alright, so let's now take a look. Alright, we're going to need to lay a power conduit down there. Probably should start my timer too. So let's look up conduit. Ooh, we need some conduit binder. That's right. Well, I should have some up here somewhere, right? Right. Oops. Yep, conduit binder. Good. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to build this stuff up. So let's get conduit now. Oh, okay. I thought for some reason I thought I had it programmed in. So we'll get that conduit like that. Perfect. So, as some of you guys have pointed out, there are easier ways for me to do a lot of the stuff I'm doing with Applied Energstics. The reason I'm doing things the way I'm doing them is that, basically, I much prefer to be using as few channels as possible. I know that probably seems kind of silly to you guys, but it makes sense to me. Okay? So let's take another look at this. We need to figure out what exactly we're going to make here. So the first thing we're going to need is to make that dough, all right? And that's the wrong thing. So to do that, we're actually going to make ourselves something called a cyclic assembler, okay? And we don't need the resident version, we just need the basic machine frame version. Hold on for a second. We need to look at this carefully. So, thermal foundation's 4 and 1. Okay, so there isn't any specific GregTech recipe. Why don't we actually look up tin gear? Interesting that that's not coded in. Yeah, so an extruder is 4 plates, 4 ingots, which is the same pretty much as using... But I don't, for some reason it doesn't look like the thermal foundation tin gears are coded in properly. Alright, so we're going to get a tin gear, and then we also need back to the cyclic assembler. Cyclic assembler. Come on, machine frame basic, there we go. And now let's encode that in as well. It's also, no, we need to actually put it in here, okay. So let's come over back to here, 1, 2, thank you. And we should be able to put that in and get ourselves a Machine frame. Hip hip hurrah. Okay. So now we're going to turn this thing into a cyclic assembler. Now the cyclic assembler, cyclic, not cyclic, cyclic. The cyclic assembler is basically a way to craft stuff, all right? It's actually pretty useful, all things considered. So let's do that, and then we need 2 tin gears and 2 copper gears. All right. Actually, what I also want to do is cyclic assembler, copper gear. Oops, nope. We'll encode that. We will encode this. We will encode that. Oh, you can use GregTech tin gears. Okay. Well, then we'll have to figure that out in the future. But anyways, all right, so we got that stuff encoded. All right, let's plop all this stuff in. Well, not all of it, apparently, because we're running out of inventory space. But anyways. All right, so now let's drop down our cyclic assembler, which should go somewhere over here. Didn't I just make one of these? There, cyclic assembler. All right, so let's drop this guy down here. Right about here. Okay, and then what we're going to want to get is we're going to want to get an aqueous accumulator. There we go. So we're going to need a machine frame and 2. Okay, so let's go machine frame. Nope, not a screwdriver, a machine frame. And then we need a servo. What else do we need for the aqueous accumulator? 2 copper gears and a bucket. Okay. So we'll go copper gear. Oops. We need 2 of these. And we are also going to need a bucket. Yeah, we need some more iron plates, right. Yes, I could have done this off camera, but remember how I said that this is honestly one of those series where it takes a while for me to do anything because I have to do a lot of pre-work? Well, you can thank GregTech for that. So we have bending machine. There we go. Right, we have HarvestCraft. I need to use that at some point very soon. Because I saw it and I'm like, this is like IC2 crops without the terrible. Actually, IC2 crops have always interested me. I've just never been able to really get into it. All right. So we got ourselves another bucket. So now we can get ourselves the aqueous accumulator that we wanted. There we go. And we should get some water buckets out. Apparently not. Okay. So the nice thing, honestly, about the aqueous accumulator and the cyclic assembler, and let's set this guy up so that configuration, I want your rear facing to be input. There we go. The nice thing about the cyclic assembler is that it's actually pretty easy to use. So let's dig. Actually, we want input on the bottom. All right, that works. And so we'll put this guy down there, and we just need to get some water in him. Which may be a little bit easier said than done, but, you know, that's kind of how it works. So as you can see, I'm also trying to pretty this place up. That's been going on off camera, but again, I just kind of stalled out on it. Actually, I've been having trouble convincing myself to play Minecraft, honestly. It's not that I haven't been having fun playing Minecraft. It's that, you know, I'm one of those guys who it's like, oh, look, a new game. Oh, look, a new game. Oh, look, a new game. And then, yeah, I forget to play my old games. And then I'm like, oh, right, I need to record videos. Which I've been letting you guys down on, which I really apologize for, by the way. And thank you guys for putting up with my ADD and my, you know, forgetting to do things, you know, and get videos out on time. Thank you for putting up with that. I apologize. I really do. I'm sorry, guys. You know. Alright, so we'll grab that. And let's dash around here. It's actually one of the reasons I enjoy playing mods so much is simply because I, get a chance to do a lot of different stuff. And I've been doing a lot of tech stuff in this series, but that's partially because I like my tech stuff. And don't worry, we'll get into blood magic and, some of that other stuff. But I just enjoy doing all the technology, Alright, so what we can do now is we can open this guy up, and we can say, close this, and we can get ourselves a bit of conduit, a bit of this pressurized fluid conduit, and we can just hook it up right like so. There we go. And the aqueous accumulator should fill up, but I put this in completely the wrong spot, really, because I'm forgetting that I need a little bit more space here, actually. So let's remove this, let's put him down. Let's get him to actually connect. There we go. And now we can put down the cyclic assembler. Bingo. You can see he's also filling up with water. Now, what we need to do here is we need to get ourselves a schematic. Alright? And the schematic tells the cyclic assembler what to craft. And it shouldn't be too hard to craft that. It's just a little bit of lapis and some paper. Of course, I don't have much paper. Let's see, do I have any sugarcane laying around? No. Great. Why don't we look up the recipe for paper now, why don't we? I could put wood into a presser. Okay, well, we'll do that. You know what? There's an easier way for me to get wood. Let's just go get a stack of wood. It's interesting that it's a stack to one, but honestly, I have enough wood probably right now that I can afford to go a full stack to one, Just have to kind of drop over to here and pull some wood out of here. Yep, I can definitely afford to. Alright. So, the schematic, it tells our machine what to craft. Now, the cool thing about the cyclic assembler, which you guys probably may not have seen before, is that the cyclic assembler can actually use water in its internal tank that you saw briefly in order to... And let's put this up here. It can use water in its internal tank to actually replace a water bucket in a crafting recipe. And while we're up here, we might as well get our water bucket. Fill our bucket with water just to demonstrate. So what we can basically do is we can tell this machine, hey, buddy, all right, well, here's what I want you to do. Let's just get down here and pick up some water. You can basically say, hey, buddy, here's what I want you to do. Here's what I want you to process using the schematic. And because you can use the water source or liquid water in a tank instead of a water bucket, it makes your life a heck of a lot easier. So let's take the schematic. Let's get some salt, which we don't have a lot of, but we have some of. A mixing bowl. And how are we getting wheat? Was it through potatoes? I think it was through potatoes. So if we get ourselves some potatoes, let's say 8 of them, and our mortar and pestle, which for some reason oh, right, because of that entire shenanigans with, okay. And we do this, and we get ourselves some flour. All right, good. So let's teach this thing how to do this, all right? So all we have to do is we have to put the schematic in. It's a blank schematic. We say mixing bowl, salt, water, and flour gets us dough. Okay? So list all water, flour, mixing bowl, salt. So if we put the mixing bowl in, we put a bit of flour in, we put a bit of salt in, we get ourselves some dough. Nice, right? Right. I certainly approve. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get ourselves an interface, and we're going to start hooking this thing up, hopefully an interface in a chest. So let's see if we have ourselves an interface ready to go here. I can almost guarantee you we probably don't. No, we don't. Okay, so we can just go and get ourselves some formation and annihilation cores. I didn't want to click that. I wanted to click this. And then we can get ourselves some interfaces. Okay, interfaces. That's not that there. Okay. It's being a pain in the neck to me today. All right, so we get that, and then we also need some conduits. Ooh, we are out of item conduits. Okay, so we'll get ourselves some item ducts then. There we go. Item ducts. I have some servos. Do I have any filters laying around? I got some filters. Okay, good. All right, so we'll hook up the interface, and we also need some cable. ME cable Fluix should do the trick. All right. So the nice thing is this is already kind of set up proper the way I want it to be. So what we'll do is we'll come through, we'll put our interface right there, and then I just need to get myself a chest. So that would help. All right, so chest. We'll just use a standard chest for this. And we'll put the chest right there. And one thing to remember is that last time I checked, these interfaces actually acted to connect things through them. So if I put that there, this should work. Okay. So let's just wrench this. No. There we go. So now that's outputting into there. So what we'll do is we'll put down our item duct right about here. And we'll put in a filter here and a servo up here. All right, so we'll enabled, ignored. Okay. And then on the back here, we'll connect this guy. Actually, we don't want it to output. Right, we don't want it to output. So once we have the dough, let's take a look at this. So we're going to make this pizza, for starters. P-I-Z-Z-A. So, Supreme Pizza, all right? Eaten once in the last 6 hunger. Eaten once in the last 6 hunger. Okay, right. So what we need to do is we need to get a pizza, which is dough, bakeware, tomato, cheese, firm tofu. Okay. How the heck am I going to do this one? Well, that's not too big of a deal. All right. So this is outputting into that. So all we should have to tell this is that we need to give this flour and salt. Okay? That's all we need to give it. We don't need to give it anything else because everything else is being handled by our system. Right? Right. So we're going to switch this into processing mode, and we're going to say flour and salt gets us dough. Yoink. Gets us dough. In code, please. We'll put all that stuff away. And we'll just plug this into this interface. So what I should be able to say back here is, if I open this up and I look up dough, we have 2 dough in there, and I say, okay, I need to get 3 dough. Now, this would help, of course, if we actually hooked this thing up, but we forgot to. So what we'll do is we'll open up our item duct. Oops, we need the back of this to be an output. And we'll go 1. And actually, yeah, I guess it'll be fine to connect this because, yeah, okay, we can filter it. So let's put ourselves a filter. And that went into there, of course, so we need to get the dough back out. Oh, no, we have dough right here. I'll put some better filters on this as time goes on, but for right now, this should work. All right, so the filter's on there. The dough should have wound up back there, so that's good. That's very, very good. Now, do I have any bakeware laying around? Not really, so let's get some bakeware. All right, so then we need to get, for our pizza, just for the standard pizza first, all right? So we need dough, cheese, and tofu. Come on, computer. That's not what I wanted. Pizza. So that's salt and soy milk. Okay. So let's go soy, soybean, but not soy milk. Yeah, that's cute. All right, get out of there. Yeah, it's going to press it, and then we should get soy milk out of that. Yes, okay. So it's soy milk. So if I look that up again for pizza, that's soy milk and salt in a pot. All right. Do we have any extra pots laying around? It looks like we only have one. Okay, so let's go like that. Oops. That's not what I wanted you to do, computer. Just 4 iron and a stick. Okay, we can do this. You know, if I was evil, I'd actually nerf out this recipe on you guys just to make you so that you actually have to use the GregTech components. And we also need to get ourselves some salt. Okay. And we also want to get ourselves another, I know, right? Another cyclic assembler. If I uncaps lock myself here. And we'll put the dough away, and we'll put the mortar and pestle away, and some of this stuff away, and this away, and this away, and this away. There we go, cyclic assembler. Clicky? Okay, no. So we need that machine frame. We need those gears. And we need that chest. Oh. And let's look up that cyclic assembler. Yeah, we need the tin gears too. And there we go. We need the chest, and we need that coil now. But you guys are pretty much getting the idea of how this entire thing works, right? Right. So we get our cyclic assembler now. Okay. How many filters do I actually have here? That would be a good question, to be honest. So what we're going to do now is we're going to plop down this guy right about. So the first thing we want to do is we want to disable this. Alright, that's been disabled now. Okay, so we want to put down our cyclic assembler. Alright. And then we're going to tell... Ooh, this is going to cause an issue, though, because this guy needs salt, right? And then this guy needs salt. Okay, so we're going to do this actually through the ME system. So let's go with butter, right? Salt. Let's see. So salt plus soy milk and a pot in a crafting recipe gets me cheese. So we'll encode this pattern. And then we also need for our pizza, let's look at this again, P-I-Z-Z-A, for the supreme pizza, or just to make the regular pizza. So then we need firm tofu. Okay. So this is where we're going to have to actually just do a standard ME setup. Yeah, okay. So this we'll have to do this way. Yeah, this has to be ME controlled directly. That's unfortunate. Alright, so let's see. We have, how many signals do we have with the channel? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So what we'll do now is we'll get one of those pressers from upstairs, alright? And that should help. Well, at least they don't require power. The cyclic assemblers are actually great for this, for some sort of stuff like this, simply because they can generate a lot of... They make this process a lot easier and a lot less intensive on my ME system, basically. Okay, so we need to get ourselves one of our pressers. Assuming the presser isn't pressing the presser, which is always possible it's trying to do. And we're going to need to get ourselves another interface, all right? Interface, which shouldn't be hard to get because I think we already have all the components we need for this thing. Absolutely we do. Okay, so let's put our presser down here. And let's drop down the stairs for just a second. All right, presser. So what we'll do now is we're going to encode all of the tofu recipes into this presser. All right. And I wish I had a better place to do this, but this wall seems to be as good as any. So we'll put the presser right here. And then we'll put our, well, let's pull it out a block from the wall, to be honest with you. So we'll put the presser right here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take our item ducts, and we're going to go 1, 2, and we're going to not put extra bits on by accident. And we're going to attach our hardened servo there. blacklist, enabled, ignored. So he's going to constantly pull out. Hopefully he pulls out properly. I can't guarantee that he will, but let's hope. Actually, we can test that in just a second. And we're going to stick our ME interface on like so. Okay. So now what we'll do is we'll open this guy up, and we'll see if we have any more soybeans laying around. That we do. Beautiful. Okay. So let's take a look and see if this actually works properly or decides to derp out on me. So we'll put the soybean in like that. Hopefully he actually extracts properly. Nope. Okay. Yeah, I figured he'd be a pain in the neck. Okay. And I'm going to have to actually get down there to do this. Great. Alright, so let's go 1, 2, 3, and can I turn this off easily? Yes. Alright, so that behavior's back. I like to see that. And let's reinstall this guy, and let's set him to ignored. Let's see if this time we actually like the soybean. Okay, good. That seems to be working now. Okay, so now we just need to tell this guy to face down. And then what we can do is start teaching this thing stuff. So we can tell it, for example, that if I clear this and switch back over to here, one of these is equal to soy milk, right? And then soy milk is equal to what? Well, that's a pretty good question now, isn't it? So if I dock this in here, and then we go in here, and we put the soybean in. We didn't even need to put the soybean in there. We put the soy milk in there. We get silken tofu. So we'll encode silken tofu then. Wrong terminal. This becomes silken tofu. And silken tofu becomes what? Firm tofu. Yeah. Tofu, tofu, tofu. And so silken tofu there we go. Becomes firm tofu. And I don't think you can go any further with firm tofu. At least I'm pretty certain you can't, because what else would it become? Stony tofu? But let's find out just in case. So, we got that, okay. And we now at least have a presser on the network. Well, it will be as soon as we add it into the network, but... So now we add this in, and then we add... Come over here, we put it on this guy. There we go. And I don't think you can go any further from firm tofu, right? No. Okay, good. Alright, so then all we should have to do now is get out our ME glass cables and hook this guy up like so. Boom and boom. Okay. Excuse me. So now if we come back to here, we can put these guys away, and we're sitting golden so far. Alright. So anything else we need to do quickly? Well, let's look at pizza. P-I-Z-Z-A. Pizza. Alright. Tomato and tofu. Alright, well, let's teach this to the network now. So, pizza. We get pizza. Let's see. Supreme regular pizza for right now. And then we just need to get ourselves some cheese. What's in crafting right now? Nine bytes. What are these? Oh, 4Ks. Oh, ooh. Yeah, okay. So let's see. What do we need to get cheese with? Soy milk and salt. So we need just to get... Huh. That's weird. Because we get soy milk, salt, and a pot. We get cheese out of that, right? And then if we go back to our terminal here, we should be able to just install that there, go into crafting. Oh, we need some blank patterns now. 10 maybe? Nope. We're running on glass, that's a problem. Nope. How much glass do I have in the network then? None! That explains that then. We'll put some sand in to cook then. Alright, so I just want to get pizzas done. I can do supreme pizzas and like the loaded baked potatoes off camera for you guys. But I just want to kind of show you the beginnings of the process of me actually doing this, you know, and getting this all encoded so that we have an easy way to actually get, you know, some resources going on. Well, not resources, but you guys get the drift, right? Right. Not resources, but some automatic shenanigans and automatic crafting going on. Yeah, all right. So let's come back into here. We'll put that in there. We'll close that out because that's using up glass that I need elsewhere right now. And we'll drop down to here, and we'll look up glass. Glass. No, right, we wanted blank patterns. Blank patterns. And this may also mean, by the by, that I have to upgrade my... what's that machine called? I have to upgrade my crafting processors. And that I'll probably also do off camera. So we now got pizza. Awesome. I'll do all the other stuff off camera, but I just wanted to show you the sort of hybridized process that I'm going to be using for this. So basically we're producing dough this way, that comes out and goes in, etc., etc. And actually I'm going to shorten this a little bit off camera, and I'll probably show that to you guys in another episode. Anyways, guys, this has been Mr. Kassarian. I want to thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. As always, guys, happy mining.